Hi, Collective. Welcome back to Love, Light, and Life Affirmed, your daily affirmations for self love and growth. Hi, my divine masculines. Welcome to your weekly check in, you guys. I'm going to give you guys a past, present, and future spread this week. So let's just get connected. Let's see what's been going on. Welcome, all of my current subscribers. Thank you guys so much for all your love and support of the channel. You guys have been absolutely incredible. I can't say it enough. Thank you for constantly showing me love. Thank you for letting me know the messages resonate. So, divine masculines, okay. So, past energy, crossroads, and then teamwork. Okay, let me get the rest of the spread. Very interesting already. Abandonment, surrender. Okay. Okay. So, divine masculines. So, what I'm showing here in the past energy so far, in the past, you were at a crossroads. I feel like you had a choice in love. And one of the choices that you had was someone who you felt like it was easy. Teamwork was easy. Connecting to this person was easy. But I feel like you couldn't make a decision. You were at a place where you had two options. One option, you felt like love was easy with this person. You guys flowed together naturally. The connection just felt right. There wasn't a question there. But I feel like you were at a crossroads because you were also in another connection or had another energy. And this would have been a major life change for you to make a decision to go towards this person who you felt like teamwork was easy. I feel like you wanted to work together with this divine feminine. I feel like you wanted to ground this union into a 3D relationship, but it would have meant making a major life change. What I'm seeing here is because there was not a surrender, there wasn't a choice. Someone had to walk away from this connection, whether that is you pushing away the divine feminine or the divine feminine walking away from you. But there was a sense of abandonment here, felt by either you, your divine feminine, or the both of you in this situation. And this caused a childhood wound. It caused a major pain in your heart when this connection was abandoned. It made you feel left out. You realized that you felt codependent on the connection that you had with this divine feminine. And you knew that you could not make a decision or you were unable to make a decision. But at the same time, you still felt hurt about this connection being lost between the two of you. I feel as if in the past, once you surrendered, so at some point it seems like you surrendered, and maybe this past connection you were attached to that you were at a crossroads with, maybe you surrendered. Maybe you realized and went from I can't make a decision to with this optimistic card here saying I can. And you started to feel more positive about your future after making a decision to surrender the connection that no longer made you feel good, that you knew deep down probably wasn't good for you, but had a hard time letting go of, maybe because it was familiar, it was comfortable in a lot of ways, right? But you making a decision and being more positive about your future, making a decision made you feel more optimistic about your future with this divine feminine that you had to walk away from in the past. I feel like this allowed you to be more honest and transparent with yourself. You were able to get into a more vulnerable state, learning how to communicate your emotions and basically realizing, you really didn't have anything to hide. And I feel like you became someone who sought out guidance because you wanted to understand how to express yourself. You wanted to get in touch with your higher self. You were tired of the games. You were tired of the broken heart. You were tired of feeling like you never had the love you truly deserved. And you sought out guidance, whether that was, from a spiritual leader, whether that was just you reconnecting with your higher self, whether that was a trusted family member or friend. Basically, you sought out wisdom from anyone who you felt you could trust or you felt you could be in a safe space with, especially during that time of vulnerability. Okay. All right. Let's see what else happened here in the recent past with my divine masculines. Let's get a few more details here. Puppet manipulation, to be controlled, to be manipulated, to be in someone else's hands. So I feel like with this energy, I feel like this is why you were at a place of a crossroads. I feel like there was somebody that you were connected to that you felt were constantly manipulating your thoughts, your feelings. I feel like there was a lot of hot and cold energy in this connection. There was never consistency. Some moments this person treated you amazing, made you feel like you were King Tut. And then in other moments, this person made you feel like a peasant, made you feel like you didn't deserve love, that you didn't even deserve their attention or affection. So I feel like they were a puppet master when it came to how they dealt with you and your emotions. So a lot of mind games here kept you in a place of indecision. Yeah, the snake energy. They were very cold. Whoever this person is, cold-blooded, self-interested, threatening individuals and influences. Yeah. This person made you feel like you were in question when it came to your feelings. They made you feel guilty if they had an inkling that you have feelings for someone else. This is also someone who was able to, again, make you feel as if you would be a bad person choosing someone other than them. So again, this kept you at this crossroads, constantly questioning your own decision making, questioning your own heart space, questioning what you knew felt good, but you had someone in the background constantly make you feel guilty about the thought of you going towards what would be better for you, even though they knew that they were never going to truly give you what you deserved. What else? Yeah, and unfortunately, time ran out, and the divine masculine had to walk away because of the indecision. I feel like in the past, you wish that you could have also asked this divine feminine for more time, but see, at the time, back then, you were not able to communicate everything was going on. You were terrified that if you opened up to this divine feminine and let them know exactly what was happening in the background, that they would end up walking away from you and you would lose your chance. But see, unfortunately, it backfired anyway. But because they never knew what was going on, they constantly felt like you were the snake. They felt like you were being cold to them, that you were just manipulating their emotions, trying to keep them around. In some ways, you were, because you needed them. You were codependent on this divine feminine. But it was basically the energy being passed on to them that they didn't deserve, that you were receiving. You were trying to preserve the relationship by holding on to them, by manipulating them, but you were also hot and cold with this divine feminine. Again, so the time ran out and the decision was made by them. This put you in immense sorrow. This broke your heart. And also the heart of the divine feminine is what I'm feeling. But I feel like you never expressed this to the divine feminine. You never told them how you actually felt about anything regarding their connection to you. And anybody that's participating in any type of relationship wants to know that they serve a purpose, that they have an impact on you. But if you kept this information from them out of fear that you would not be able to choose them, it still backfired, because again, with you withholding, it made them feel like they had no other choice but to abandon the situation. And it pushed them into much sorrow. Because of the way that you were treating them, it made them question your motives. It made them question what you truly wanted with them. What else happened in the past? Yeah, see? Cold. The energy. You were very cold towards them. And again, even if it wasn't purposeful, this is what the divine feminine felt. Lonely. There was not an open connection, open communication. Yeah, there was no bridge to you. There was no bridge to your emotions when it came to how you dealt with this divine feminine. And again, it was because you felt like you couldn't be honest with them about what was going on in the background. This person in your life who was manipulating you, but you were also manipulating your divine feminine. So they had to end it. They had to walk away. As much as it breaks their heart still to this day and broke their heart then, they had to walk away. Okay. This is the past energy for my divine masculines. So let's pull a spread for the present. See what's going on in the current energy with you, divine masculine. So it was a tough situation that you found yourself in, divine masculine. I feel like it was a situation where you knew what your heart wanted. However, you had things happening in the background that your divine feminine was not aware of. Yeah, you wanted to be the divine masculine in their life. Your knowledge told you that this was the role that you were supposed to be playing, but you were not ready because you had other obligations, because you were connected to other people in the background that you were not ready to walk away from at the time. So let's see what's happening now. Present moment for my divine masculines. Present moment, pride, reconciliation, guilt wounds, spirituality. Present moment for my divine masculines. Present moment for my divine masculines. One more, please, for the present moment for my divine masculine. Wow. Wow. At the bottom of the deck, forgiveness. So somebody's needing somebody's forgiveness, wanting to come in and ask for forgiveness. So in the present moment, divine masculine, this is what I got. I'm going to take all of them that came out because they seem important to the message here. So you have still kind of been questioning what step to take. Even though you may have walked away from your past situation, in the present moment, you still have some pride and some ego that's kind of in your way at this time, divine masculine. You're afraid to take action for fear of embarrassment or shame. And I feel like that comes from you knowing how you treated your divine feminine in the past. So it's almost like you feeling as if you would have to come towards them with your tail between your legs. You would have to basically take back everything negative that you said about your divine feminine out of being hurt of them walking away from the connection because you allowed your pride and ego to get in the way after they walked away, even knowing that you could not give to them in the way that they deserve to be given to. And you're having a difficult time apologizing, even though you truly want to reconcile. But I feel like you want to come back together, but you want the divine feminine to come back towards you so you don't have to feel embarrassed or shame or deal with the guilt of your past choices. You really want to repair this connection, but you still have guilt that you feel. You do feel sorry, But I feel like this is a situation where if you say sorry or that you apologize, it is admitting that you treated them wrong in the past and maybe you don't deserve them to reconcile or come back towards you. And I feel like because you still truly love them, as much as you did not show or say this to them, that reality of rejection terrifies you. I feel like you are reconnecting or trying to connect more with your spirituality, with the Most High, with your spirit team. I feel as if this is something that has been inspired by the Divine Feminine because you are seeing in this present moment how their life is changing, the direction they are going. And I feel like this is something that you were in denial about before. I feel like this Divine Feminine asked you to surrender in the past and you laughed it off. You kind of laughed at them, thought that their spirituality was silly. It didn't mean anything. You were in control of what happened in your life. But I feel like, again, you walking away from that past connection, okay, it created an opportunity for you to come back towards this Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. This was like a light bulb moment for you. There's something that you've realized walking away from this past situation. And I feel like you're seeing the signs, you're seeing the synchronicities, you're seeing the repeated numbers, letting you know that you are on the right track. Angel numbers, letters, hearing music that remind you of this Divine Feminine. But it's letting you know, Spirit is saying to you, yes, you needed to walk away from this situation in order to find your self-worth. This is what was missing in the past. This is why you couldn't choose and make a decision. This is why you were at a crossroads, because you didn't even believe you were truly worthy of the love that the Divine Feminine was wanting to give you. So you've had a recent light bulb moment, but your pride is still blocking you. Let's get some more details about the present moment for my Divine Masculine. Present moment. Emotional detachment or lack of empathy, being unfeeling or not showing emotion. You're still hiding your emotions. You're still hiding your true feelings. But deep down, you really want to reconcile. You're praying about this. You're asking for it, but you are at the same time not moving, not putting in the work or the actions. Yes, you know that you have to move towards them. You have to move towards this Divine Feminine. If you want this reconciliation, maybe you are not living in the same place you were. Maybe you are living in a different state. So it would take you on a journey to come towards them. Transformation, adaptation, shifting from one state to, so you have gone through a transformation, Divine Masculine. And I feel like this is why you want to come back towards this Divine Feminine, because you want to show that you have changed, but at the same time, you still have this level of pride and ego that is stopping you because you are afraid of having to feel that embarrassment or shame about the actions that you took against your Divine Feminine. But in order to reach your goal, Divine Masculine, you have to move forward. And sometimes, in order to move forward, just like on a ladder, sometimes stepping back is also part of the journey. Taking a step back in order to move forward. In order to move forward, you had to go through a transformation. You had to change this personality, this mentality that you were in about matters of the heart, about women, because maybe there's a mother wound there where maybe you really didn't respect women and you were still angry with your mother that you hadn't dealt with. And maybe you've now dealt with that. So you were able to transform. But with this Divine Feminine, in order to move forward, in order to reconcile, it's going to mean having to take a step back in order to apologize and be vulnerable and admitting your mistakes and accepting the consequences of that. Otherwise, it's going to stay exactly how it is right now, over. And you are trying to stay in denial about the fact that it is completely over. But in order for you to reopen it, you are going to have to bring balance to this divine feminine. You are going to have to bring a level of justice to her. And that means you having to apologize and admit your wrongdoings. That is going to be how you start your reconciliation and bringing love to the situation. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. Because this is a passionate and emotional connection between two people where there was attraction, desire, and commitment on both of your brains. But see, your actions didn't match your words, divine masculine, and they couldn't at the time because, again, you were dealing with a snake energy that was part of your family that created situations where you felt like you had to always be there for them and take care of them and that you could not venture out on your own. See, this was the manipulation. You were the target and they kept you in this labyrinth of confusion. It was done purposely to keep you feeling as if you were obligated to them, that if you walked away from them, they would not survive without you. But see, now you understand this. Now you see this. Now, in your present moment, they were creating and keeping you in chaos and confusion. They were creating complex situations to make you feel stuck so that you could not just walk away. Very clever foxes they were or are, if you are still in connection to whoever this is in the present moment. Okay? Wow. Cold-hearted people. They don't want you to be in love because you being in love with someone else does not benefit them. Them being able to manipulate you and constantly keep you in a state of feeling as if they can't survive without you is hitting a wound that you have of feeling needed or needing to feel needed. See, this divine feminine was very independent, but this other person is very codependent, but they also know that you like to feel needed. This is a wound from childhood of feeling valuable by feeling needed. So you are manipulated and used by people who truly don't deserve your energy, your heart, or your efforts. But this is not something that you could see. Maybe this is cultural. Maybe this is just, again, from a childhood wound. Look how difficult. What wants to come out? What is this sticking up? Music? Wow. The energy is making it very clear. This needs to be out here in the future outcome. Messages received through song lyrics. This was part of something you enjoyed with your divine masculine. Your divine feminine. Some of you guys could be dealing with the divine masculine as well. Flip it where it goes. But divine masculine music was very important. This is what kept you in your safe space. This is what you go to, divine masculine, for comfort. Desire, comfort, transparency. This is your future spread. Very interesting. Give me a few more, please, for future outcome for my divine masculines. Future outcome for my divine masculine. There she is again. That teamwork energy, that divine feminine from the beginning spread from your past. So here's what's coming up, divine masculine, if this is not already in play. Stay optimistic is your message. Okay. So right now, I feel like music has been comforting. Music is what's keeping you connected to your desire for this change. You also, again, be getting a lot of signs, receiving guidance from the divine. But I feel like you crave in your future transparency. I feel like you're ready to leave this third party situations in the past because you are wanting to go towards this person who makes you feel like teamwork makes the dream work. But I feel like you also still have a fear of self sabotaging because of these neglect wounds that you hold. You are still concerned about people judging your choice to connect with this person again because of the past actions that you took, because of the words that you said. But yeah, confirmation. But understand that to bring this into balance, you have to take a step back down the ladder. You have to get rid of your pride and ego and say, yes, I messed up. Yes, I made the wrong choice. Yes, I said things that were not true out of fear, out of hurt, out of anger, whatever it is, because I was abandoned. So that you don't self sabotage again a reconciliation opportunity. You still have some healing to do as well, it seems. Being still concerned about the judgment of others, whether this is family, your friends, or even yourself. Focusing on the negative, it causes you to build walls around your heart. But see, when you reconcile, when you come back together, or if that's your desire, because this is the center of the spread, you desire teamwork with this divine feminine. You have to have an open heart space. Your heart has to be open. So right now, I feel like you use music to comfort you when you think about this divine feminine. This is also a place of your desire when you think of them. But I feel like you are getting the signs, and the signs have been very clear to you, and you are ready to leave your third party situations in your past in order to reconnect. But you are worried about neglect wounds that you still hold, childhood wounds where you struggle to let things go. You struggle to let go of things that you know that are not good for you out of fear of being alone, low self worth. You struggle to say no. And this is how that energy is still able to manipulate you in some ways. And that makes you upset and angry because you are realizing it and you repress those emotions. So let's get some more details about the outcome here for the divine masculines. Time. Guys, when I tell you that time, it's a situation where time, the universe is no longer going to wait. This whole week, the messages talk about time. Time is of the essence before the bridge is burned permanently. Right now, there's still an opportunity to cross over this bridge, but I feel like time is running out. Yes, truth. That is what the universe is trying to portray. There is not much time left for this to be reconciled. This is the energy that you fear they see you as, because that is the energy of the past when there was disharmony. This energy is now something that you are possibly dealing with the people in your life that has come back. And this is why you feel lonely. You're realizing that people did not have their best interests at heart for you. They made you look like a clown. They made you choose wrong. Yeah, these rats in your life, these hidden enemies that stole your opportunity for real love, that manipulated you and made you walk away from something you truly wanted. Yes, wolf in sheep's clothing. So many people, and you're realizing these are the people that caused you to constantly self-sabotage. They constantly make you question your own intuition, your own heart, your own love. Protection, safeguarding physical and mental strength and resilience. This is the energy that you need to be in the future, divine masculine, in order to go towards your divine feminine, because you got one more choice. Which way are you going to choose? You got one more chance to make the right choice, divine masculine. Wow. Yep. Or go back to the situation of constantly feeling as if you are being pulled left and right and constantly in the middle of chaos. This is the energy that this snake energy, these rats have you in. Or are you going to choose yourself this time? Choose your own heart. Divine masculine. It's your advice. What's coming up? Bedroom in the reverse. You see how it flipped in the reverse? There's no intimacy happening in this connection. This is something that you are aware of. Your desire is for your divine feminine. Timing, efficiency, results. Timing is right for quick results. Use your efficiency wisely. Time, divine masculine. When I tell you it's time to make a choice, wow. Talk, discernment, protection. Use discernment and talk and protect yourself from gossip. You need to be careful who you speak to right now about the choices that you are going to be making. Be very mindful, divine masculine, of who you trust. Nursery, innocence, curiosity. View challenges through the innocent eyes of childhood to break through current limits. This is going to help with your healing. A few more, please. Research, get the facts. Choice. Your choice depends on research. Wait until you have all the facts. Stop listening to external sources, divine masculine, and get your own facts. Ask your own questions to the right people. Wow. Wow. What's going on with your heart space right now? What are you feeling right now? What are your heartstrings telling you? Face what's hidden. The truth will set you free. Confirmation. Wow. In stillness, you can reclaim your power. It's time for you to go within and figure out what you want, divine masculine. Stop letting external forces make your decisions for you. Not afraid of hardships. Yep. Don't be afraid of change. Yeah. If you want reconciliation, you need to shake off the past and rise again, divine masculine. Reinvent yourself, and you will rise up from the ashes even more powerful. It's time to go through your transformation, do your healing. Let go of these past situations. Give up control. Give up control. Release your grip on outcomes. Embrace the present moment and the wisdom that you've gained. Harbor of peace. Find serene refuge in the peaceful embrace of a gentle harbor, allowing tranquility to still your waters. You need to go into solitude to find your peace. Messages from your future person, your divine feminine. Let's set this love free and wash over me. Walk with me into destiny. One more, please. I will always cherish you. Divine Masculine, you got a choice to make. You can walk towards someone that you can love for the rest of your life, or you can stay in the situation of manipulation. That's what I have for you this week, Divine Masculines, for your weekly check-in. I hope that it was helpful, purposeful, and useful for you. But until next time, you guys, bye.